has decided to go first. And Chris, what about her keys to victory for what seems like yet another title when we talk about such an accomplished player?
Well, Liz, if she can get out of the gates fast, she's an experienced player. She's been here before, and Josie's going to have nerves. There's just no way around it. It's her first show. So if she can get out of the gates fast, put a lot of pressure on it, gives her a huge advantage.
And through the face on the first ball here, and leaves a very difficult 3-6, 9-10. And there is Josie Earnest, who's an assistant coach at Vanderbilt University, and she got to watch this.
Well, this is exactly what she didn't want to do. She got this one off target. She said right before the show, it's all about shot making right now. The lanes aren't real easy. They will get a little better as the telecast progresses, but she makes shots early. She felt like she would come out on top. She's got good ball reaction.
4 major championships. She won this in 2009 in Reno, Nevada. And no problem on the conversion. That's a classic example of shot making.
And just a little bit fortunate when they're this tight down lane. There's a lot of oil down lane, 41 feet. There's just not much time on this pro-am lane surface for your ball to hook. She was trying to hit just on the right side of the 3-pin. She actually hit on the inside, the left side, and was able to get everything to go back.
So here's Josie Earnest, the 5th seed. Ten straight back, and her path to making this show, Chris, was absolutely unbelievable. The women she had to beat.
It was murderer's row. She started out with Kim Terrell-Kearney, then went to Kelly Kulick. She lost to Carolyn Dorland-Ballard in a 10th frame match. She got the first one, the 10th, and needed the second one, couldn't get it. Went to the loser's bracket, beats Leanne, then Olivia Sandham, and then the 4-person roll-off to make the show. The person she had to knock out there, the defending champion, Missy Parkin.
You're talking about Hall of Famers and major champions, and Olivia Sandham is a tremendous player. What a start for Earnest with a double. All right, so much for the nerves, huh?
Well, you know, honestly, this is what we expected Liz to come out and do, is come out, make great shots early, put pressure on the rookie, and Josie's doing the same thing she's done all the way through match play. She hasn't worried about who she's bowling or what the names are or what they've accomplished in the past.
Well, she averaged a little bit over, almost 215, really, to round it up. Liz was 7-1 in match play, had to come out of the loser's bracket, and man, did she ever come out of that loser's bracket. A noticeable adjustment on that shot there by Liz Johnson. Let's take a look at her path. She actually lost her first match, but let's analyze exactly what you see here in Liz.
Well, a simple 4-step approach, classic. She posts up nearly every shot, and she's right in the perfect balance point as she goes into her final step. Posting on 1 foot, that back foot's down. That keeps your head from going over your knee and losing leverage. Don't mistake lack of revolutions for a lack of a powerful ball.
There's no lack of power in that, so she doubles back. And we've got a nice little match here early.
Well, this is a nice recovery from the first shot. Cross about the 7th board, a little light. Head pin goes to the wall, knocks out the 4, and takes out the 7 as well. She's got very heavy ball roll.
So right back at Josie Earnest. We'll see how she responds. Seven pin's going to stay there.
This is essentially the same shot as the head pin comes off the wall, though it just misses the 7 as it went right through there instead of knocking it over like Liz's did. Very much the same shot. Josie's playing a couple of boards deeper in the lane, so she has a little less angle going through the pins.
No trouble, and she is joined in the audience today by her parents who made the trip into Arlington, Texas. It's Larry and Lisa Earnest. And Kyle Barnes is the gentleman in the checked shirt right there. And he is her boyfriend, and also has been helping her with ball selections and probably some emotional support as well. But right now, there's nothing anybody can do except her.
Cross.
Yeah, she probably fortunate to get out with that. As you heard her say cross, and she knew it wasn't a good shot.
This is a pretty simple adjustment. Last time she went a little bit light. The natural reaction is to try and make the next one hook. Pulls down on a little bit, comes across, leaves a 310. This is a challenge here.
A couple of different ways to try this. You can try to slide the 3 into the 10 or go in between. So the first open of the match goes against Josie Earnest, and all of a sudden Liz Johnson, coming up with a double, has a 14-pin advantage in the 4th frame. All right, now this is a little bit of a change in the format for this year's Queens. This is what they used to do. 4 out of 5 came out of the winner's bracket. We would only take 1 from the elimination. This year, you had just 2 out of the winner's bracket, 3 from elimination, and there was a 4-person roll-off in which only 3 would escape. Liz Johnson was the one of the 3 who got out. And she got, pardon the expression, on a roll, and ended up, Deandra was remarkable at 7:06. She ran and hit from the first match on, Chris, but this is how good this group was. Here's the defending champion and a great bowler, Missy Parkin. Couldn't make it.
Yeah, and it was a tough match. Deandra came right off the bat, shot 5-0 for the first 2 and asserted her position as the 3rd seed. And the other 3 were fighting out tooth and nail, came down to a shot in the 9th and 10th frame. Missy was not able to convert, and Liz and Josie were to advance.
That's how Liz Johnson bowled all day yesterday.
Well,
7-1 in match play.
Yeah, and according to our cast, these last 3 shots are all nearly identical. She's a little bit firmer on this left lane and a little bit further right. She knew it was good from the get-go. You stand at the foul line like that, you know you throw a good one.
She lost her first match to Olivia Sandham. And then, oh, brother. Down 34. Sliding a little bit. She got that. She needed that desperately. Wednesday night, ESPN's regular season coverage of the NBA concludes with a doubleheader, beginning with a Kia NBA countdown at 7:30 Eastern. Then at 8 Eastern, Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, great bowler, and the Clippers visit Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. And finally at 10:30 Eastern, Tony Parker and the Spurs take on Steve Nash and the Suns. The NBA and ESPN, ESPN3, and also live on WatchESPN.com and the Watch ESPN app. To Wednesday night. Yeah, the Spurs have been a story this year.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw that coming from a veteran team and a shortened schedule.
That is amazing. Leading the double here is Josie Earnest.
Carry.
It did. This is not her first time bowling under the lights. In 2007, she was on television when she was on an NCAA champion team. But Liz Johnson is the real veteran of this match. 4-time major winner, and she has taken command halfway through in the opening match of the USBC Queens.
Match, she was so cute. She said, I don't even want to think about what's going on over there in the TV pair. I'm just here to bowl, and at any time I think I could beat anybody in a one-game match. She looks like she's been here before. She doesn't look like a new bowler.
Now, she said just the one appearance. However, she was at the U.S. Women's Open in her first appearance last year. This is her first Queens. She shot a 300 at the same house, by the way, the Euless Lanes in Euless, Texas, a few minutes from here, where we had qualifying for this event. Liz Johnson seeking a 5th straight. No trouble. Brother. She makes it look so easy.
You sat for about 3 minutes there in the break, and I think that's the hardest shot to make, is the one right out of the break. As you can see, she looks right down at the foul line when she throws it. perfect, splitting the 8-9, all 10 back.
Josie Earnest made one mistake, left one crack in the door, and at the moment Liz is tearing the door down. Got that kick on the 7. First woman ever to qualify for a television show against the men. She did that in 2005. 8-year member of Team USA.
Liz and Josie are both throwing the identical balls, a Columbia 300 Omen. The only real difference is Liz is drilled stronger with a taller pin. It makes it flare more, lets her throw the ball a little bit firmer, and according to our Cat's data, she's about 1.2 miles per hour faster on every delivery.
Josie's off a double.
Push, push, push.
Usually when you hear somebody say push, it's not a good thing, but that time it was.
Well, it is as it listens. And well timed. Down, she was down 44 there. Pulls it back to 34. She still has an opportunity here. She can shoot 256. Still a huge game, but as you can see there, the max score for Liz right at 290.
Yeah, well, somewhere Wendy McPherson's watching this going, oh, yeah? Well, I shot 714 against Liz and lost because she threw 769 at me in a 3-game set. So can't ask for more than that.
A great shot. The difference in Josie's drilling is a little bit lower pin and a little bit weaker, so it doesn't flare quite as much, but it rolls hard in the mid lane, and she's getting to roll hard and then roll forward.
Let's go back to 2005 here, Chris. Here's Liz and bowling against Tommy Jones.
That was up in Wyoming, Michigan, and Liz beat me in the first round. The only 2 games I won against her was a 300 and a 290. Very nearly won the title that day.
Ooh, ringer. And a chance for Josie, although, again, Liz Johnson hasn't had one shot, the very first shot that didn't look good. Otherwise, everything else has been
Looks
pretty
nearly
flush.
perfect. Watch that 6-pin right around the bottom of the 10. Technically, it's about a quarter to a half board light, but when you're standing at the foul line, it sure doesn't feel that way.
Doesn't look that way, that's for sure. We want you to become a fan of the USBC on Facebook and ask Chris Barnes a question. If we use your question on the air, you will win a free high-performance bowling ball courtesy of Storm Products. We'll answer the question a little bit later on in the broadcast. Go to the USBC Facebook page. So Liz's max is now 269. Here in the foundation frame, Josie, after the Open, well, you give her credit, came back with 4 in a row.
All right, there's part of what's made her a 4-time major champion. The foundation frame coming off a spare. You know, if she gets one more strike in the 10th, she can't be shut out. She puts herself in a situation where Josie cannot shut her out. She can strike out for 256. Liz is on a 249 pace. The first one in the 10th and 8 spare would guarantee her a win now.
Imagine throwing a 256 and not advancing. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's got away. Well, she won't be throwing a 256. That's a tricky shot. 127. Excuse me, 1210.
Yeah, now every shot before this, she's been right around the 9th and a half to 10th board, and this hits the 8th board. And thanks to our Cat's data, 6 going around there, leaving the washout. Difficult spare. She's going to hit the left side of the head pin.
She has no choice but to go for it, trailing by as much with Liz up on a strike in the 9th. Beauty. Nice. Well done. Her max is now 233.
She shoots this with her spare ball off the left side of the lane there. Head pin off the wall. and just thumps it.
Deandra Asbady, who's waiting the winner of this match, has got to be going, uh-oh. It's whoever comes out of here is going to be an even tougher out than I thought.
Yeah, I don't think there's any easy outs in this tournament.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, I agree. That's an accurate assessment from Josie Earnest of Nashville. Four-time gold medalist on Junior Team USA, 5 years on that team.
One more strike will put her in the 230s.
Just light enough.
Shows you sometimes how critical it can be. The shot ends up in about the right spot. 6, just like Liz, is right around the bottom of the 10. It was a half aboard right at the last shot. Gives her a score of 223. And Liz will need, well, virtually nothing in the 10th frame to close this one out.
And Josie seems resigned to her fate, but again, this is her first Queens.
She'll just need 3 pins and 2 shots.
She bowled at 223, Chris. It wasn't like she stunk the joint out.
No, I tell you what, you don't see that very often. Your first time on TV, you see way more 160 and under performances than you do just a really solid performance like that.
And you run into somebody who's just on her game at the moment.
Well, it seems that Liz is on her game really all the time.
Yeah, you know, as soon as I said that, I went, when is she off her game? I don't know of any time that's ever happened. What I like about her, Chris, is she's so enthusiastic about the game still. She's done it for a long time. She travels the world. She competes against any and all comers and does it with great gusto.
Yeah, her enthusiasm is a little bit, she masks it a little bit on the lane. She likes to stay low key, keep herself under control and that, but you don't have to talk to her very long to understand her love for the game and her passion for not only how she plays it, but how she prepares for it.
So one more for a most impressive shot across the bow for the rest of the field here for 269.
A little ball change just to see what's going on for ransom demand.
268, Liz Johnson, an impressive start. Deandra Asbady awaits Liz Johnson